Well, this car hasn't been started since I was last over here, I think a week ago. And it's been real cold in the Midwest. Ugh. Alrighty. Let's get in here. Man, it's really cold. I can't even touch the lock with my bare fingers for more than like a minute. You know, wear gloves. I prefer not to. Because I should be used to this. I live here. I've lived here my whole life. Let's see if this thing will crank up. Cranked out. That's good. Basically we're just here checking up, starting it up. Gonna check some body work like with my hands and just give, you know, like an update. Shaking, shake. Like if you're in here going like this, like shaking, that's how this thing idles. It shakes everything. But she's at about 1200 RPMs cold. But I mean, it's got the choke right there. It's got a choke on her, so it'll be high until she warms up. I got a comment today. A guy was telling me, what do I know? I don't know. Hey man, we're just here trying to rebuild the car and have a good time. Like I said, not a professional, but just here doing what I gotta do, you know? We're gonna check the oil on this thing, because I bet you it is... I have never checked the oil on this. So, if that tells you anything, I've never checked the oil. So we're gonna check that. Be right back when I'm checking the oil. It's currently 3 a.m. It's smoky in here, but it's really cold too, but I'm gonna just rev it up because the neighbors are up. I see them, and YOLO. Because why not, right? Neighbors will be all right. They're already up. I seen them outside. But it's really smoky in here. I don't think I want to die. I don't think I want to pass out no time soon. Look at that. So I'm going to head out, let this thing run, check the oil, shut it off in a minute. I'll be back. It's a little loud. That's why I'm checking the oil. Just to make sure she has enough. Alright, let's cut her off. Ugh. Wow, she's at a quarter. Not even. But no heat, cuz no heater core. Doing too many freedom sends and blew it out, but oops. Yep, that's the problem. Alright. Well, I'm letting the smoke clear out of here before I check the oil. Well, you can see Taco Bell just pretty much just gonna make this thing a low-end budget sleep. You could say a sleeper. It probably won't be a sleeper. I mean, it is. I mean, look at this thing. Look at it. Who pulls up next to this and goes, "Oh, he's fast"? No one. Yeah, I plan on ripping this thing apart. This thing should be pulled on by now. I hate this alarm so much. See, this is not a real sports car. It's got it's got shocks. We need shocks. I think the dipstick's over here. See? Oh, it's right here. You know, when you want to find a dipstick, you want to look for the lettering dipstick. No, excuse you. They just give you this hook for, like, you know, a hanger or something. So I've never checked this oil. This is the first time checking it ever. Wow. It looks like coffee. I guess you guys have a better view of this. Let's see if we're low or anything. We're a little low. Look at that. Doesn't that look nice? It's almost the same color as the car. Look, you can't even see the dipstick no more. That's bad. This oil probably has like 10,000 miles on it. Probably like at least 30 burnouts. And at least like 30 revving sessions. I had to get some new oil. I don't know why I did that. Ow. Yep. Yep. Smells like burnt oil. A little bit of coolant in there too. A lot of gas. You can just smell the piston rings and all the bearings and all the metal shavings on there. Change your oil, please. For the sake of your car, change your oil. That's just the beginning. Look at that. Can you go back in? Thank you. Look at that. That's just the oil. Trans fluid is back here. You know what? I don't care what you say. The trans is already blown, so I'm going to use the same napkin. Why is it blown? Because why not? I mean, actually the trans fluid don't look bad. And there's not a lot of clutch plate on here. So it could just... Do these transmissions come with shift solenoids? I don't know. If they do, I think the solenoid is bad. Because it won't... It has first, reverse, it has every gear manually, but it don't shift, so... I think it's shift solenoids. Who knows? I don't. I'm hitting something, but I'm not going in. Okay then. You want to go on this one? Yeah? Oh, there you go. There you go. Alright. Now let's look at these sparking wires. You know, the thing that keeps this car going and running. Come on over here. Look at these. These things are shot. Look at these. These are bad. They feel like Twizzlers and they're getting brittle. Look at that distributor cap. Oh, what's that go to? Who knows? It's just cut. Look at this. Unplugged. Who needs that anyways, right? Look at all this. It's unplugged. You don't need none of that. Heater car hoses right here. Just unplugged. Coolant temp sense is broken. Air filter is dirty. Surprisingly. No AC. Who needs AC in this car, right? You roll the window down. You go as fast as you can. You see this 305, buddy? You don't need no AC when you roll these windows down. You go about $1.90. You don't need no AC. You're gonna be cool as an icicle. Look at this belt. This belt is probably original on this motor, and who knows when this motor came out. So I'd say, I bet you this belt's from the 80s. Same with the other belt. Coolant hose looks newer. Way to go. I got something right? You got your good old battery. Duralast. Can't get no better than that. Got this with a patch on it. How good does that look? Looks great. So, the plan is in here to just rip all this stuff out. All this stuff is junk to me, essentially. Gotta get the words right. Because this thing needs so much work. It has valve train knob. It ticks, it sticks, it lifts. All the good stuff a V8 should do. The valve covers are bad. It's got oil everywhere. This exhaust manifold sucks. Intakes suck. This thing barely wants to start. This is always getting loose. The power steering's always whining. This thing is garbage. This thing, I don't know how it starts this up still. AC, take AC off. That's like 30 horsepower, buddy. And then you slap the no AC sticker on, another 20. Let's see, what else here? Brakes. Always gotta have good brakes. That's why we're not gonna do nothing to it. We're gonna leave them, they're mint. Same brake pads and everything since the 90s. Mint. What else? Power washer fluid looks good, so we don't need to replace that. This thing has ironically, this thing has a trans cooler right here. See that? Yeah, there you go. See how I got the trans cooler? No matter how much you cool your trans on a GM, they'll always blow. Look at the fluid. The fluid was still pink, still good, was full. No matter what you do, it's gonna blow. But plan on just getting like a Silverado 5.3. If they have a 6.6, definitely gonna get that. But I'm just gonna slap something in here, make a little bit of power for a budget, you know. And then for that, the supercharged, we're gonna get a F40 transmission. It's a 6-speed. I guess it's supposed to be better. I'm not a transmission guy, so who knows? But yeah. Alright, let's drop this hood. I think the neighbors like me. I'm gonna tear apart these doors. It's not like come over. This, and this needs to come out. The roof is good, except for this little bump right here. I just noticed that. The rest of the roof is pretty good. It's cold. I don't know why I'm touching it so long. The door still needs a little bit of work, so I'm gonna work on these doors. Take these apart, get these doors done. The fenders back there need done. But the main thing I need to do is tear apart these doors and get these doors finished. So we'll be doing that. I really wish the junkyard had these cars so I could find parts. But why would they? Not a fan of these fake vents. I really wish they weren't fake. Like I really wish I could, you know, put them on and find out where they go and cut the actual holes so you could, you know, get straight air. Kind of like ram air, but not. But I mean, who knows? We might get crafty. That's pretty much it. I didn't bring anything, and it's really cold. Kind of want to do this during the day, out in the sun, when it's like 35 degrees, and not. I don't have my watch. I don't have my phone either. It's probably like what, 25, 30 degrees out right now. Mint. But yeah, I'll be over here tomorrow. Work on it. Yay. All right. So I've actually been working on this car, and I haven't started it in a couple. I think I stopped working on this thing Sunday. It's Wednesday. I put a brand new $200 battery in here, and it's really cold. As you can see, I just don't want to kill my battery. But yeah, I've done so much work to this car. So I actually done power steering, 2 power steering lines. There's 4. I'll show you guys on my rack. I got an extra rack and pinion in the trunk. I'll show you, but still don't have power steering because one of the lines is blown out. My flywheel and torque converter bolts actually disconnected and were clunking. Da, 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 da. And I thought my motor was throwing a rod and having a rod knock. So because I was leaking oil because of my oil filter housing adapter that Chevy puts on these Impalas. Because my gasket was blown out so bad, you'll probably see that before. Or I'll throw it after. I'll put it in after. I'll show you all the work after I do this explanation. It was so bad that I was leaking a quart. Just running it until it got like, okay, see how it's already at C? Like 2 more minutes, it'll be at a quarter, and I already leaked out a quart of oil. That's how bad it was. So I thought, wow, I got a knock because of my oil's low. So I went and got thicker oil, and I'm like, I just want to, try to help it as best as I can. But it wasn't a rod knock. It was my flywheel and torque converter because the bolts got loose. I did a trans swap on this. I did a lot of stuff to this. I did a trans swap on here. I got proof because some people don't believe I have any skills. Some people really don't believe I can do stuff. But I did a trans swap on this in my muddy backyard. That was fun. But I torqued them things down. I don't know how they got loose, but they were clacking. But I got underneath there, took starter apart. My starters actually went bad. It wasn't spinning. The drive wasn't coming back, and it wasn't spinning at all. It was just click. So I replaced that, and I was messing with the bolts, and I'm like, wow, these are loose. So I tightened them up, and yeah. It's really cold outside. I'm really sorry. That check engine light, don't worry about that. I got that fixed. Whenever I do so when you open the gas tank, my filler neck doesn't have that little flappy metal piece. So it's getting too much air. Also, my oil filter, or not my oil filter, my oil pressure sensor that is on the oil filter housing was also leaking. It was a mess. I had to do that, fix the flywheel torque converter. I did 2 power steering lines that are the toughest things you could ever do on this car. It is, highly don't recommend the high pressure lines. See, look how fast it warms up. I would have leaked out a quart of oil by now. It wasn't those, it was the little ones on the rack. I'll show you, but I'm gonna let this car warm up because I haven't driven it. So I'm just gonna let it warm up to warm up. I'll be right back with you guys in the trunk talking to you about it. Can you see me? Okay, so I haven't posted any videos. I know, wait, I cannot keep a straight schedule. I just been working a lot, and then actually cameraman Rick felt like they had COVID, which kind of like put me in a spot to where we're waiting on the results to make sure so I can go out and do anything. I don't want to be a nuisance to anyone. I don't want to, put anyone else in harm. But I can't go to work because of it, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to review some video footage I've taken and see if I can upload it, But, yeah, I've been working on this Impala. Man, it is beating me down, this thing. I love this car. I tried my hardest to fix a car. I would never let a car go. So no matter what happens, I will fix it. And I have only been doing mechanical stuff for about a year and a half. And let me show you. Everyone's always hating on my shoes, Look at that. That is power steering fluid and trans fluid and oil. Everyone's always talking like, you need to get rid of those. These are my working shoes. These shoes have literally seen 6 motors picked and pulled and 4 transes pulled and put together and rebuilt. These shoes have been through a lot. They're my work shoes. But anyways, but yeah, I've only been doing like mechanical work for like a year and a half, and I've only bondoed this fully one car, the Camaro. I've bondoed my truck, and that was it. So no, I'm no professional at anything. I don't claim to be a professional. People are, typing on my videos like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." You're right, I don't. That's why I'm just doing it and seeing how it goes. It's not going to turn out professional. I'm doing it in my garage for fun and videotaping myself, which is really hard because it's kind of hard to film by yourself. But anyways, let's get back to work. All right, she's warmed up enough to where I had the heat on for like 2 seconds, but I'm gonna just go ahead and shut this off. Should be charged up enough for my liking. Let's go ahead into the trunk. All of my cars are old. I'm used to 2000s and 90s and 80s, so this is like a privilege. Or not a privilege, this is like futuristic for me. Anyways, here we go. These 2 lines. These ones are blown. I fixed these 2. Here's the cooler, and here's the one that goes up. This one goes up to the power steering, and this one's the cooler. I actually need these boots, so I came out here. But yeah, those 2 lines right there are causing me a problem.